Don't settle for bad socks. Get comfort and grip at an affordable price with Pure Grip Socks Pro. Choose from 18 different colors at puregripsocks.com.
These are the pros and cons of the Puma Ultra 5 Ultimate, quite possibly the best and most underrated speed boots of 2024. Where really quickly, if you guys enjoy this type of content, don't forget to drop a like on this video and let me know which boots you'd like to see a pros and cons video of next. And make sure if you aren't already, hit that subscribe button along with a little bell notification so you don't miss out on my reviews of all the latest football boots of 2024. Starting with what I would argue is a huge pro of the Ultra 5 Ultimate, and that is the price. Instead of the $260+ that you'd pay for a top-end speed boot from either Nike or Adidas, the Ultra 5 Ultimate retails for $230, which is by no means cheap, so don't get me wrong there, but being $30 less expensive than the competition is definitely a big deal, and given the fact that these likely won't be the most popular football boots after we get several colorway drops, it's very likely that the colorways that didn't sell will get marked down, meaning that you'll be able to pick these up somewhere in and around $200, probably even less than that, sooner rather than later. Where, by the way, if you are interested in a pair of these, you can pick them up below their normal retail prices by way of some exclusive SR4U coupon codes by checking out the first link down below. With con number one arguably being the biggest one, but also one that to some people probably won't matter that much, and that's the overall weight of the Ultra 5 Ultimate, where in a size 9.5 US, the boots weigh in right around 205 grams or 7.2 ounces, which is still very lightweight both in hand as well as on feet. Lighter, believe it or not, than the more expensive Ultra 5 Carbon, despite not having a carbon fiber sole plate. However, when compared to, again, its main competitors in the Adidas F50 Elite, as well as the Nike Mercurial Vapor 16 Elite, those are boots that are going to weigh in right around 15 to 20 grams less than this, which isn't huge, but definitely noticeable. In other words, they're definitely light, but there are certainly lighter feeling speed boots out there. Pro number two is definitely the touch and feel on the ball on offer from the Ultra 5 Ultimate. It features a super thin textile-based synthetic material that offers that raw barefoot feel with really no extra padding whatsoever, giving you that very connected one-to-one sensation for how pliable it is. It's not lacking in structure, which makes the boots feel very secure on feet. The new shaping also allows for much more of a high quality speed boot fit and feel, and you also get that Grip Control Pro texturing on the surface that does legitimately provide a lot of extra grip on the ball that you otherwise wouldn't have. Not quite to the same extent as the Nike grip material you'll find on the new Mercurial Vapor 16 and Superfly 10, but it does come pretty darn close. Where because they're so thin, protection is severely compromised. This upper has no padding to it whatsoever, and while that offers a premium barefoot feel on the ball, should you get stepped on, you're going to feel every bit of it. So if protection is important to you, these wouldn't be a good option, nor would most super thin speed boots. Aggressive traction is an important characteristic for any speed boots, or at least something that I think a lot of people look for, and what the Ultra 5 has on offer is arguably better than anything else currently on the market. Obviously, the FG layout is fairly unique, where you get quite a few studs in the forefoot, strategically positioned for pretty much as much bite as possible, also having a very unique shape that for as much grip as it provides, it doesn't necessarily make you feel like you're locked into the ground, because it does have that little bit of a rounded edge, but because of all the bladed edges, you feel like you have tons and tons of grip when pushing off in any direction. Then you also get the unique 3-stud layout in the heel, which might look a little bit weird, but feels surprisingly normal. Also paired up with the plastic sole plate, it's still very responsive as you'd expect from a top-end speed boot, but just more flexible than what you'd get from the more expensive carbon variation, which at the end of the day isn't really better or worse. I'd argue it's more of a personal preference thing, but because this moves more easily with the bend of your foot, it's debatable that you end up with more studs under your feet in the right spots for optimal traction. Not that any football boot will necessarily make you faster, but if you're looking for a stud pattern that feels fast, I don't think anything feels quite as fast as these. With the final con being focused more so around personal preference than anything, we're just like this year's Mercurials with the grip knit upper, the Grip Control Pro texturing on the surface of this Puma Ultra 5 Ultimate simply won't be for everybody, particularly for somebody that tends to drag the ball a lot. If you found that having boots that have that extra grip cause you to trip over the ball because it's stuck to your feet rather than gliding along with it, you might not like the additional grip on offer here. While I can't say this was an issue for me in particular, in that I actually really liked having the extra grip and felt like it gave a nice sense of control, for somebody that really doesn't like having any kind of stickiness to the upper, this might not be the right choice for you. Something else worth mentioning specific to this colorway, and I'm sure it will be something that we'll see down the line as well, this colorway has a bunch of graphics on the surface of the upper in a matte finish, and that area does not have the Grip Control Pro texturing. Same thing goes for this, same thing goes for these badges, same thing goes for the form stripe. So the grip itself is very much broken up on this particular colorway, whereas the whiteout ones and the blackout ones, for example, even the purple, just don't have these graphics and offer a little bit more consistent grip. So grip on the ball will vary a little bit from colorway to colorway, depending on the graphics on the upper. With the final pro definitely being the fit and overall comfort on offer from the new Ultra, where I think that really was one of the major downsides of the last couple generations. The improvement is significant here, where the upper is super pliable, the shaping has been refined in such a way that does remind me a lot of the Nike Mercurial series. There's no other way to put it. You get a nice deep central lacing system with this one-piece enclosure that allows for fantastic adjustability for how thin the boot is. It doesn't feel uncomfortable in any way. And I also found that the plastic sole plate Ultra 5 Ultimate versus the Ultra 5 Carbon not only gives you this external heel counter, which changes up the heel construction a little bit, but the more flexible sole plate just allows this boot to move more nicely with your foot. And in general, I just found the cheaper version of the Ultra 5 to be more comfortable than the $290 Carbon model. To make a long story short, they're significantly more comfortable than the last several Ultra models have been, and also one of the most comfortable speed boots currently on the market.